I thought my second video should take a slightly different path to my first, just to try and test out new voices. If I'm going to add something to people's lives, I like it to be something worthwhile. This doesn't mean that I'm going to stop doing funny things or that what I say is now going to become boring. It just means that what I say is going to mean something and it's going to be important to me because I don't have much time because I'm a student and I do a lot of other things. So I thought today we could do a video on 6 things you can do to help save the planet. Number 1. Plant some flowers. This is especially important if you live in a city. By putting flowers in, you're going to have animals like bees and butterflies. And in doing so, you're then going to help things that eat bees and butterflies, like birds. And then you're going to help the things that eat the birds. Not only that, but you start to make things look prettier, which is a good thing. Number 2. Hot drinks and chocolate. They're very much a thing nowadays. But what you don't think about is where they come from. It's all well and good paying 45p for 80 tea bags. You need to think about where what you're eating and what you're drinking come from. A lot of coffee is grown in South America and a lot of chocolate is grown in Africa. It takes a lot of energy to take them from there and put them in your face. You should also consider the people that are growing your relative products. So if they're being paid a fair price for their cocoa and if they're being treated right with their coffee. A lot of companies like Auto Chocolat and Divine work well because they work with smallhold farmers to give them the education, knowledge and price they deserve for what they grow. Number 3. Put things in the right bin. As an environmental scientist, I spend a lot of my time putting things from one bin into the other, a good portion of my life. First of all, make sure you're not putting things that are recyclable in a non-recyclable bin. You are not putting things that aren't recyclable in a recyclable bin. I know it sounds stupid, but it's worth making sure you know what can go in your recycling bin at home. Chances are you've had something like this dropped in your letterbox. Just follow what it says. I was at a recycling plant a couple of years ago on a university trip and you will be amazed at what people put in. I was speaking to one worker and they said they had 400 morphine vials just turn up in one of their machines. A lot of people apparently put syringes in recycling bins. Don't put syringes in bins. If you have biohazardous waste, put it in a sharps bin. In the UK, it's illegal to send batteries to landfill, which probably means it's illegal to put them in your bin at home. Number 5, and I'm going to stand on my vegetarian box for this, eat less meat. Even if you're cutting out one day a week where you eat meat, that's fine. The energy and the resources required to produce meat are much greater than those required to produce vegetables. A lot of crops are grown specifically to feed to animals, so they're food for food. In not eating animals, you're cutting out the step, meaning that the land used to make food for food is then land used to make food for us. Also, there are a lot of health benefits to eating less meat, specifically red meat. Number 6, my last point, is to educate yourself. It's important to remember that the environment and the planet is everything around you. Everything you do will have some impact on the environment. Be it big or small or good or bad, you're still impacting the environment. Even if it means only buying 1 pint of organic milk a week, taking 1 day a week where you eat vegetarian, not putting or use syringes in the recycling bin. There are things you can do about the environment. Just make sure that you're aware of what you're doing and how it impacts the environment. That includes the clothes you wear and the food you eat. It's not a pleasant or comfortable truth, but it's something we have to come to terms with as a race. What we're doing at the moment isn't sustainable and we can't do it forever. We need to leave a world that your children and my children want to live in. I was just watching this back in post-editing and I realised that number 4 was missing. You think with 2 grown adult males in a room we'd know how to count. So environmental tip number 5 is don't punch pandas, or club seals, or burn otters, or swivel kick an eagle. That's my first attempt at a serious video. I hope you've enjoyed it. If not, please tell me if you have. Tell me more, but louder. As this is such a contentious issue, I really welcome your thoughts and your opinions and your questions and your arguments in the comments down there. And if you really want to make me happy, make a video response.
Don't buy these. Okay, buy these. You buy my tea! But of course, I will never leave you out of focus. You bought my tea!